Kia ora, good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to the University of Otago live webinar on study abroad and exchange studies here in New Zealand. My name is Megan Smith. I'm from the International Marketing and Recruitment team, and joining me
is Alba. Kia ora, morena, good afternoon as well. My name's Alba and I look after the study abroad with our lovely colleague Meg.
Yes, during today's webinar, you're welcome to ask questions in our live Q&A box, and our fantastic colleague Meg will be in the background looking to help you out with those questions. Now, we just want to make sure everyone who's joining us live today is familiar with this particular topic for the webinar. So this is very specific to students and our partner universities who have an agreement with us for exchange studies or for study abroad. And so in case you're joining us today and we're hoping to get information about scholarships or PhD or full degrees, this isn't really the webinar for you, but we're happy to share with you some links to some of our other webinars we've had just in recent time focused on those specific topics and degree types. But if you are here to hear a little bit about University of Otago and learn about the study abroad and exchange options and the amazing opportunity to come and spend 1 or 2 semesters with us, then welcome on in. We have got a fantastic agenda for you and a lot of topics to go through as we introduce you to study abroad and exchange at Otago. So first up, we're going to kickstart with an introduction to New Zealand and Dunedin. So a warm welcome to you to New Zealand, Aotearoa. We are a country of 5 million people. We have 3 official languages, English, Te Reo Māori, our Indigenous language, and New Zealand Sign Language. And in terms of global rankings, there's a lot of great indicators presented on the slide, as you can see. We have recently been ranked the most beautiful country in the world, which I think we can agree with. That makes sense to us.
I would agree as well.
We're pretty lucky here. We're certainly high up in other important indicators, for instance, human rights or human freedom. We are second in the world for that. 3rd least corrupt country in the world, 4th safest country. That's a good one to share with parents. 4th most gender equal country in the world. We're pretty happy, about 11th happiest, and certainly doing well in innovation and sustainable competitiveness too. So as a country, a pretty cool destination to come. Something very unique and special, however, is our Indigenous culture and our Māori principles of manaakitanga, which really refer or represent topics such as hospitality or kindness, generosity and support. And as an international student coming to New Zealand, this is something that you will experience and feel welcomed in our country and at our university. So studying in New Zealand, what does that look like? Well, it's handy to know that all 8 universities in New Zealand rank in the top 3% in the world. We are the #1 English-speaking country for preparing students for the future, which frankly is what education really is all about. We do offer a world-class education system, and some of the ways in which we teach or share our sort of education experience are through things like critical thinking. We try to instill those sorts of attributes. We encourage hands-on learning, working collaboratively, problem solving and creativity. We are considered the 2nd best country in the world for producing graduates with problem-solving skills. We have great research opportunities here and are well connected with universities around the world. And in fact, New Zealand was the first country to adopt a special code of practice where we must and ensure the well-being of our international and domestic students. Okay, so where the heck are we? Alba, I'd like to know. Well, I can see on the map here, we're in the South Island of New Zealand. And as you can see, as we enter in the harbour coming into Dunedin, this is already setting the scene to be a beautiful location. How do we get there? Well, from Auckland or Christchurch, those are the main international ports or airports in which you land. From Auckland, it's just a 1 hour 45 flight down to Dunedin, or from Christchurch, a 55-minute connection down to Dunedin. It's also not so far from Australia, typically 3-hour flight if you come through Australia to fly to us, but that's kind of gives you a sense of where we are located. All right, let's hear about Dunedin, Alba.
Why? Dunedin, a really beautiful city located in the South Island, like Megan said, sister city to Edinburgh, actually. We're really proud that it's the UNESCO City of Literature as well. But I think what really makes Dunedin stand apart from other cities in New Zealand, it's truly a university city.
Yes.
Campus lifestyle, and the population is very much reflected in that. So it's a very young population, and again, very happy population. 84% of people rate their quality of life as being good or extremely good. So really the beating heart of Dunedin is the university, and we really love it here. You're learning from the brightest, so we have the highest concentration of postgraduate qualifications living right here in the city. And it's also considerably affordable compared to other cities in New Zealand as well. It's a great lifestyle. I've been here for 6 years and I love it here. So
Fantastic. And as you said, Albert, it's a university city, it's a student city. And maybe you want to highlight some of the give us a sense of what we see on this slide.
Yeah, so this is a great aerial shot of Dunedin. We see that it's bordered by beautiful water. So we're located in the mouth of the Otago Peninsula. So we've got the ocean on one side, but we've got beautiful waterways surrounding. You can see the university is just located there on the yellow pinpoint, and very close to that is the Octagon, which is the city center. So really everything's quite accessible within easy walking distance, and not just access to the city. We have the great outdoors really right on our doorstep, whether that's the beaches like St. Clair, but that's actually one of 24 beaches we have around Dunedin. But we also have great access to wildlife like the little blue penguin or the royal albatross in the end of the Otago Peninsula, and really just access to all of the great outdoors surrounding the city as well.
Fantastic. Now, weather is often a topic that we're asked about, and I think it's fair to say we have 4 seasons, but not as extreme as, say, Europe, for instance, or perhaps North America. So moderate 4 seasons. So for sure, we have a beautiful spring with the magnolia and cherry blossoms coming out. Summertime is fantastic to explore all those beaches. Great surfing here, and then of course we move into autumn, one of our favorite seasons. It's truly beautiful on the campus around that time with the change of leaves, of course. And winter. Now, I always like to highlight that there is one photo depicting snow, but it's not really very realistic. It's very rare for us to get snow in Dunedin City. The snow tends to stick around on the mountains further in central Otago. So when something like that happens, pretty much it's national news. We get very excited. We run outside and try to make a snowman, but there's really not enough, and it's melted by the end of the day, typically for winter. So don't worry, you won't be coming to snow if you're from Canada, for instance, or perhaps Sweden or Norway. This is nothing. All right, Dunedin, what a cool place to hang out as a student, because it's a small city, but it's big enough to have everything you need, right?
Yes, and it has a great offering in terms of food options from international options around the world, but also in terms of recreation. Outside of the university environment, there's so much that you can do within the city as well. So make sure to check it out, because there's a lot on offer.
And of course, one of the great things about our location in the South Island of New Zealand is we're pretty fortunate to have some of New Zealand's most premium, most famous tourism kind of scenic destinations just a few hours drive from our place. So here we see Wanaka with the mountains there. We're moving up to Roy's Peak, a fantastic hike. That's actually our wonderful colleague Terry up on the top of Roy's Peak. If you're into snow sports, this is where you go. About 3.5 hours drive, 3 to 4 hours drive to get up to Wanaka or Queenstown. 4 fantastic ski mountains for snowboarding and skiing. Of course, all around our region, there's awesome opportunities for hiking and kayaking. I mean, just stunning experiences. Actually, we have some of the great walks of New Zealand in our part of the country. And really just so convenient, just 3 or 4 hours drive out of Dunedin. So weekends, this is what you're doing when you're a study abroad and exchange student. All right, let's talk a little bit about the University of Otago. So we are New Zealand's first university. We were established in 1869, and we are considered New Zealand's top university for education performance by our national indicators or national government indicators. We are at a global level ranked among the world's top 1% of universities worldwide. And we have about 21,000 students with around 2,500 international students coming from 90 countries around the world. But what's quite unique and special about Otago is that 86% of our whole student body, they're not originally from Dunedin or the city. This means that students have moved down from Auckland and Wellington all around New Zealand to come specifically to Otago, as well as students coming from around the world. And that creates a very different campus environment to what you'll find in most countries or places. It's a real destination university, and it's a very social vibe because people are moving, they're not from here, so they're kind of really more encouraged to make friends, find friends, and start their new networks. So as an international student, this is a great environment for you too. There's plenty of study options, over close to 200 different subject areas, and we're rated 5-star plus with the QS quality ratings as well. And one of my favorite rankings is, of course, beautiful campuses, because Otago truly is something stunning. It's a campus that you won't find anywhere else in New Zealand or Australia, and it's considered to be actually one of the most beautiful campuses in the world, according to the Times Higher Education Student Voice ranking a couple of years ago. All right, in terms of global academic and research rankings, it's great to know Otago is formally ranked 214th best in the world. But as you can see in this slide, we're ranked extremely highly in a number of specific subject areas. We're actually the only New Zealand university to have a subject ranked in the top 20 in the world, and that's our sports-related science, 12th best in the world. Pretty awesome if you're interested in sports science and sports management and sports-related subjects. But you can see here, dentistry is another example, tourism, very highly ranked. But across the slide, you'll see such a diverse range of subjects, a real breadth and depth of expertise and in terms of research and in teaching. So when you come to Otago, you're going to have a very high quality of teaching and the chance to interact with some of the world's leading academics in these areas. All right, I've talked a lot. Your turn.
So as a study abroad student, and like Megan said, you can come and join us for a semester or two. And while you're here, not only you have great access to the great outdoors, but again, you'll have excellent education and a learning experience here. And you can do that throughout our great academic divisions. So that's within health sciences, science, business, humanities. And we also have our Pathway and English Language Center. Within the health sciences, which is very renowned for Otago, we are one of 2 medical schools in all of New Zealand, and we're very proud that we're the only dental school in New Zealand as well. So our health sciences are very well-renowned and well-respected. So within health and biomedical sciences, as a study abroad student, this is some examples of some papers or topics or subjects, that's what we call them here, some of the things that you can delve into. There's different offerings in semester 1 and semester 2, but very interesting topics, and again, taught by world-leading researchers as well.
And it's probably handy to know if you are in a professional kind of health program, whilst it's not possible normally to do exchange or study abroad into our equivalent health professional programs, these are examples of very strongly related courses that you do have access to. So as a health student, there are certainly possibilities to take courses of relevance to your program back home and dip into perhaps courses not offered at your home institute as well.
Sciences, another very strong division, and particularly because we are in New Zealand, there's great fieldwork opportunities, but also a diversity of subjects that you can delve into. Within different themes as well, we're looking at environment, sustainability, and climate change. So New Zealand is a very sustainability focused country, and that makes us a great place to delve into those topics. So you can see here again, things about environment, organization, sustainability, and we have a breadth of subjects that are New Zealand focused. So students that want to come here to get that flavor of New Zealand definitely have options to do that. Again, marine science, animals and life sciences. Like we mentioned, located in the Otago Peninsula, the Marine Science Department is is very well renowned, like I said before.
And quite unique at Otago, because not only do we have, of course, we're surrounded by water and have magnificent glaciers, lakes, and so forth within our region, we're also closer toward the Antarctic and then also the Pacific Islands. So we have a really a strong breadth of research and activity going on within the marine world, given our very unique location in the world.
And you can see there that there's a number of subjects that not only are New Zealand specific, but that have a very strong fieldwork component. So you're not just going to be in our great facilities and labs here right on campus, but you're going to be going out in the field and getting to explore and experience the outdoors through that learning lens as well. Physical sciences as well. You can see the breadth of topics that we have here. Really across all of the sciences, I think it's a great opportunity to come and experience that. Sport and exercise and well-being, very highly ranked as well. So it's a good thing to consider if you're within that discipline. And going into business, our division of business, our Otago Business School is located in an incredible building here. We've got our own Bloomberg lab as well. So you get that experience of what stock exchange and trade is like right here on campus. And again, a breadth of subjects with that New Zealand focus as well. Tourism, we're very well known for tourism as well.
And again, such a unique location to study tourism, not only in New Zealand as a country, but our particular part of the country connected with Queenstown and Wanaka. Queenstown is a major hub for tourism, of course, but many unique and diverse tourism operators here as well.
Adventure capital of the world, Queenstown.
Yeah. Well, the humanities now, I'm a bit of a humanities grad, actually, it's fair to say, but once again, extreme breadth of subject areas taught at Otago in this sort of space, and therefore plenty of opportunities to study. But I guess some favourite topics for our exchange and study abroad students are our Indigenous studies or studies focused on Māori and Pacific cultures. You might have some thoughts on that, Albert.
Yeah, and it's for students that want to or are thinking about what papers or subjects to select. I highly recommend one of these to be something that you consider, because as you're here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, it's a great opportunity, like you say, to immerse yourself in the local culture. Māori 108 happens to be one of our most popular papers among study abroad and exchange students. And for someone who's been fortunate enough to participate in Waiata and Kapahaka, which is Māori performing arts, this is a great opportunity to be able to experience that. So yes, highly recommend to consider any subject within the Indigenous scope.
Yes, indeed. And in terms of education and teaching as a sort of a subject, theme and topic, Otago has an outstanding College of Education, and we offer subjects across the breadth of education, really interesting topics. Our particular university has been very much involved over the years in influencing and designing curriculum for the country. We train many of the teachers of New Zealand, so this is a great chance to learn a little bit about policy and education in New Zealand and expand your social lens on that as well. And of course, the classic topics across other areas of the humanities. So really, again, a real breadth of subjects. Obviously, again, we see topics like New Zealand politics and introduction. This is always something interesting to learn when living in a different country for a period. Also great offerings across law, psychology, and sociology. Again, all of these slides are just examples. This isn't a full comprehensive list. It's just to give you a sense of the breadth of subjects and particular topics that you may wish to consider coming for an exchange or study abroad. And media studies, of course. We're friends with media. We love the media. A lot of co-options within that, as well as even performing arts.
And again, great facilities as well with the opening of the new School of Performing Arts, incredible sound studio and music room. So yeah, it's also another opportunity to get to access all of these incredible spaces around campus.
So let's look at life in the classroom. Alba, you want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. So as a student here, your time will be dedicated to a number of different things. So lectures are really like the main delivery method where you get a lot of the information from your core papers. They're usually 50 minutes of teaching. And that's really where you get the bulk of the information. But you will have opportunity to have more one-on-one contact with your teachers or academic staff, and you'll be able to do that in tutorials. So those are smaller group sessions where you will have that opportunity to have more open discussions. If you're in any of the sciences or you have lab work, you'll have experiments, and you'll have the opportunity again to access our incredible facilities. Our Meller labs are an incredible space, and we've got incredible equipment as well to be able to do that kind of research. And then again, if you have the opportunity to get out in the field and do some work outside of the labs, there's incredible field work opportunities, not just here in Dunedin, but again, in the surrounding areas. And that covers a number of different subjects, not just within the sciences, but we can see within the humanities, there's visits to the maraes and yeah, excursions throughout.
Yeah, really taking learning outside of the classroom, which is always fun. All right, so let's consider how do you come here? How can you be accepted as a study abroad or exchange student? So firstly, it's helpful to understand the New Zealand academic year. And of course, depending on where you are right now, we may well be a bit opposite to you. So we start our academic year in February, and that's summertime for us. So the semester one is typically February to mid-June. Then we move into semester two, which is winter for us, starting in July and finishing up in late spring, early summer in November. We do also have a summer school period in January. This is, of course, a much more limited offering in terms of courses you can take. So typically, most of our students are coming for semester one or semester two. Both times of year are great. Both times of year give you different opportunities for activities and studies. And yeah, that's kind of how the academic year looks for us. So in terms of your entrance requirements, you must be currently enrolled at one of our international tertiary partners at a university or an equivalent accredited tertiary institution. You should normally need to have completed at least one semester of full-time study at a university or tertiary institute in order to be eligible to come to us for study abroad or exchange. In terms of the academic grade and English language requirements, you'll need to refer to your home institute or study abroad provider, because whilst we have a certain level, which for English, for instance, that you should have a 6.0 typically for an IELTS test, but there are many exemptions to that according to where you've studied and the language of instruction you've studied in. But the thing is, to be nominated to come on an exchange, your home institute may well have additional criteria for you to meet, or a higher level for grade performance in order to be selected. Likewise, with our study abroad partner institutes, they may also have a higher or different level of criteria for you to be selected by them to come to us. So the critical step actually is to talk to your home institution's international office or global office to find out how to come. And what it takes to be nominated. So once you've understood and found out that detail at your home institute, then working with them, you move forward to the next steps to be nominated to come to Otago. And then from there, you make an application once you've been formally accepted or nominated. So once again, the first step really is all about talking to your home institute in the main. Their international or global office can tell you your options and whether they actually have an exchange agreement with Otago or a study abroad agreement, and what that actually means at a practical level and what it takes for them to nominate you. So some key application dates just to think about in terms of planning moving forward. Each year at our end, the deadline for students to apply to come in our February semester as a study abroad student is December. However, if you're coming in as an exchange student, there's a slightly different deadline to that. And of course, the main deadline you need to be concerned with is your own home institute's deadlines to be selected and nominated accordingly. If you are nominated and selected to come to Otago, then you'll also, in addition to placing your actual application to us for studies, you'll also want to be applying for our accommodation. And accommodation applications are open in August to November for our February intake. And it's handy to know that UniFlats contracts start in January, early January each year for the semester one. So that, of course, is our focus for this particular presentation on semester one, February next year. So let's delve a little bit more into accommodation, because that, of course, is always a number one concern for folk when they're looking to move overseas. Take it away, Alba.
Yeah, well, we mentioned UniFlats. So that's what we call our university flats. So it's university-owned accommodation, but they're very quirky houses located and dotted around the periphery of the university. So everything's within easy walking distance. And I love when I say quirky is that all the houses feel like they have their own personality. They're not just chock-a-block all exactly the same, which I really like. So within UniFlats, it's great that as from Otago that we can guarantee this form of accommodation for study abroad and exchange students. And within a UniFlat, within that one fee, you'll have your own private bedroom. You'll have access to shared facilities like the kitchen, lounge, and laundry. So each UniFlat comes with its own laundry facility, which is great. And then within that, as well as all of your rent, your utilities, maintenance, all of the support that comes with being a part of the UniFlats community. And the social programming as well. So it's a very lively community right here on campus. Again, very convenient because it's within easy walking distance of your classes and lectures. And the flats come fully furnished, so you don't have to worry about getting furniture or needing to fill your room while you're here.
That's right. And something quite unique with the UniFlats is that within that sort of community of UniFlats, we also have two special sustainability neighborhoods. Now, well, you've certainly visited those a few times during your time with us. Do you want to share, what does that mean? What does that mean for a student?
Yeah, so for students that do have an interest in sustainability, those two neighborhoods, it's a special application process. So we do want to see an expression of interest that you're keen on sustainability, but it's a community of houses where they share veggie plots and gardens. There's a beehive, there's composting units. So it's really students that want to get involved in kind of, like exercise their green thumbs.
Nice. So that's a rather unique offering. And of course, overall, the UniFlats are super unique from most opportunities that you may wish to consider because of the fact that in the way that we match up students together and you are housed with a New Zealand student, a Kiwi host. So because we match you up together based on your personality and interests, this means you have a direct group of friends to live with and start to hang out with and start to plan excursions with and explore and really enjoy your time both academically and kind of the wider opportunity of being in New Zealand. It's such a unique and cool concept. It makes it very easy for our study abroad and exchange students to fit in really fast and make the most of that 1 or 2 semesters with us. Yeah.
And like Megan mentioned, having a Kiwi host at home with you, it's kind of like your sounding board or that go-to person that can provide that local knowledge or the local perspective as well. So it's great to have living in your own home.
Yeah, and I think the other cool thing about the UniFlats is that kind of program of events and activities that they run themselves. And that's, anything from a pop-up soup station with hot cheese rolls, which is a local kind of a snack that we like here, sort of just a quick drop-in social situation, through to more formal excursions, up to one of our marae or Maori meeting houses, to experience our Māori culture a little bit more. There are other cool things. Oh, I know, my favorite, the dogs. A few of the staff bring in their dogs, and you can drop in, have a bit of a cuddle with the dog in case you're missing yours from home, that type of thing. But there's a whole range of different activities. Yeah.
If you wanted to go see the royal albatross or the little blue penguins, or they even did a sheep shearing activity as well to really get immersed in the local New Zealand culture. So there's a lot of options for you, not only to engage with your housemates, but like you said, engage with the wider UniFlats community.
Yeah, so when you come to Otago as a study abroad or exchange student, you're not just living in a house, you're living as a part of a community, and we really look out for you and try to give you a great experience with that.
And here we have some great content from some of our students living within the UniFlats community. So we have Sid there showing a little bit of his home and his room. We have, there's a lot of people that give great feedback on the size of their rooms as well.
And they're private rooms, of course. Yeah. We don't share rooms. That's weird for us. So private room, but a shared kitchen, shared bathroom, shared laundry. And typically you'll kind of try to make it work, maybe have a shared cooking roster or all cook together. And of course, take your leftovers or pop back home to heat it up for lunch, that type of thing. But really a fun social time too. And I think the key thing is also it's your chance to live like a Dunedin Otago student, which is something unique for our study abroad and exchange students to have that experience.
And in the second video, again, we'll see just how close really UniFlats are to the main campus. Like I said, they're dotted around the periphery of the campus. So no UniFlat is really more than a 10-minute walk away.
Yeah, and in some of them are literally 2 minutes, like walking across the road and you're there. So very convenient. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got a little bit more information around where you'll be living, and this is absolutely the number one place to live. Being in a UniFlat as an international student for study abroad and exchange is just ideal and a lot of fun. So how much does this kind of a concept cost you? Well, in terms of planning for cost of living for one semester, we would recommend that you would have about 12,000 New Zealand dollars. That's close to $7,500 US dollars per semester. That would be enough to cover your rent, your rental package for UniFlats, personal expenses and things. Now, obviously, if you're intending to travel quite a lot and do additional activities, you want to bring more. But certainly you'll need a budget of around 12,000 New Zealand as a sort of a base from which to plan. Excuse me. All right, what about life on campus and student support services?
Great.
Go for it. Sorry, I'm just going to cough, but I think this just gives you a sense of the kind of range of old and new, a bit of a feeling for the vibe of the campus. It really is a beautiful place to both study and to work as we do. It's beautiful in all 4 seasons, but there's a lot going on. But in terms of student life,
So we have OUSA, Otago University Student Association. So within OUSA, we have more than 150 student-led clubs and societies. And that includes things like cultural clubs, music clubs, language clubs, sports clubs, hobby clubs. There's really everything under the sun. And if there's a club that you don't see on offering, you're always welcome to create your own club and create your own community.
You can do that.
Yeah, so OUSA is very much a student-led community, but there's so much that you can do through them as well. We have a dedicated OUSA building as well, where there's free room bookings for students that want to be able to lead their club and society activities. But within that building as well, you have access to free breakfast throughout the week, and also a very affordable vegetarian $4 lunch option too.
Tasty.
Yeah, and something I didn't know until well into my time at Otago is there's actually a sauna up in the OUSA building as well. So if you want to escape the crisp winter weather and head to the sauna, that's just a couple of steps away from the main building here on campus too.
So although there's some well over 150 clubs and associations, it's worth noting a few of the particularly popular clubs that our study abroad and exchange students tend to gravitate towards. So the snow sports club, if you're coming in semester 2, the hiking club for sure all year round, the canoe club, climbing club, scuba diving, environmental. There's a whole heap. These are just a handful of examples we know to be particularly popular for everyone. But there's also a lot of opportunity to feel a part of our community and contribute to social impact, make some kind of an impact whilst you're here. And Alba, you're well placed to speak to these opportunities.
Yeah, so the Social Impact Studio, it's an incredible team of people, but also students that are a part of that team as well. There's ample opportunity throughout the year to get involved in your community through volunteering projects and initiatives, but also the programming and events that they have throughout the year, really centered around social impact and leadership, are definitely things to look into while you're here.
And I note the sustainable fashion initiatives. And I think, Alba, as a fashionista, it's fair to say that you're a frequent visitor to the university's own thrift shop here on campus.
Otago. Yes.
And that's quite fun because basically, because so many study abroad and exchange students come each semester, at the end of the semester, they typically leave some things they realize they don't need to take all the way back home, and they donate that to the thrift shop, which means the next students coming have a chance to pick up some good bargains, whether that's things for their flat or practical gear for outings and activities, or just cool fashion.
Yeah.
A snazzy little top.
Yeah.
All right, so Otago as a university is certainly very much an inclusive community. So we do have students actually from 90 countries these days. And as we mentioned at the start, over 86% of our students, they're not even from Dunedin originally. So there's very much a need to be inclusive and welcoming right from the beginning. It's lovely to know that a large majority of our academic staff are well, either born overseas or they are New Zealanders who hold one of their higher degrees from overseas. So there's certainly a global and international outlook across the university. We're an accessible campus. We have excellent disability support services, multi-faith support, queer support. Look, this is a campus where you can come and feel a part of something, feel a part of a city as well, because we are a smaller city. We're not the ginormous Paris or London. We're a small city, but you can feel connected and a part of it, not only at the university campus, but more broadly. Academically wise, you're well supported. We have 7 specialised libraries here at Otago with specialised librarians to support you in your particular study areas. So feel confident for that level of support. And we have a very handy sort of central hub, Ask Otago. It's kind of an all-in-one help desk. Anyone can drop by, whether you're stuck trying to understand how to change a course, or you're not sure who to contact for something, or you just need directions. Ask Otago are a really handy help desk, and they have hubs in a number of buildings around the university there to help you navigate as a new student. Student health, always important, Alba, and we're very lucky to have a student health service right on campus as well. This has an extensive range of services. So obviously there are doctors, there are nurses, but there's also a comprehensive wellbeing and mental health team with counsellors and so forth. The level of services we offer may differ from your home country. That's always something good to understand and learn, but the services are there for you and very convenient right on campus.
Campus Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got levels of support throughout the university, not just academically, but extracurricularly as well. And then we have Campus Watch, which are a great team of staff that are always around, really 24/7. You'll see them walking around campus with their Campus Watch high vis, and they're really they're a great team to feel supported by. So say, for example, if you're leaving the library late at night and you just feel a little bit more comfortable, if you had someone accompany you home, you can give Campus Watch a call. If you lose your keys or you get locked out of your house, you can give Campus Watch a call. So they're a great group of people that are always nearby if you ever need them. Unipol is our recreation facility. So it's adjoint to the Forsyth Bar Stadium, where we've housed incredible matches like the All Blacks not even that long ago, a couple of weeks ago. But the Unipol facilities are great in terms of kind of the weights and cardio rooms, group fitness classes. There's really something for everyone. You can do a lot within this building, but Something that I really like to highlight is our rental service. So if you do want to get out and about in the great outdoors and you need a mountain bike, or you want to go tramping or hiking and you need a tent and a sleeping bag, you can get a location beacon if it makes you feel safer to be out there. Skis, surfboards, wetsuits, we really have everything on offer to get you out and exploring the great outdoors, and to do so at a very comfortable student price as well. Again, highlighting the great social impact studio to get you involved in your community, but also among other students as well. Like I mentioned before, they have great leadership programming and events. And yeah, it's a great place to be and get involved in when you're here.
So it can be handy to get connected with us by following our International University of Otago Instagram account. Most of the content is generated by our current international students or our colleagues in our team as well, just to help showcase, what is life like here, some of the things going on. And of course, if you come here as an international student for study abroad or exchange, we'd love for you to feature on it too. That can also be a bit of fun. And of course I didn't hit play, so now we catch that now.
We love seeing what students get up to, and like Megan said, like Megan said, most of the content is student generated as well, so it's a very authentic view of what student life at Otago is like. So definitely give us a follow.
All right, well, it's now time to move into questions and answers, and we've had a few questions which we'll just present right off the bat. And that is, what is the difference between a study abroad or an exchange student? So put simply, an exchange student is coming to Otago on a very specific agreement that your home institute would have with Otago. And exchange means that your home institute sends students to us and we send our students to your home institute, like a bilateral exchange. So typically with an exchange agreement, there are a certain number of places available. And as such, you need to talk to your home office to find out how to be nominated and selected to come to Otago through an exchange. With an exchange, you do not pay a tuition fee to Otago. You continue with your home tuition rate, but you don't pay Otago a particular tuition fee. So it's typically limited places and quite competitive in many cases. But please talk to your home institute, because we love hosting our exchange students from amazing partners around the world, and we love sending our Otago students back to your university too. Now, a study abroad agreement is a little bit different, but still gives you the same outcome. That is that you can come and study for 1 or 2 semesters at Otago. And what's cool about a study abroad agreement is that you have access to the same sorts of services as well, with the accommodation guarantee and the same kind of study options. Something we didn't actually talk about is how many courses you can take at Otago.
Oh.
I realize.
Oh, there might be a question.
But maybe there's a question on that. We're going to come to that. So effectively, the main difference with study abroad is that your home institute sends students to us, but we don't send back to you. And there is a tuition fee to be paid at Otago for that. Also, it's possible to come to Otago as a study abroad student through a study abroad provider or an education consultant as well. So if your home university or institute doesn't have a study abroad agreement, there are other providers that can help you come here with that as well.
And you can also come independently as well.
That is true. That is true. So how many courses or papers can I take during a semester? So in the main, exchange and study abroad students can take 3 to 4 courses with us in a semester. 3 courses is a full-time load for Otago and suitable for a full-time study and student visa accordingly. But depending on what your home institute requirements may be, or to fulfill your degree program, you might need to take 4. Most study abroad students probably, I would say, take 3, and that just gives them that a little bit less academic workload, so they can also explore and have some fun, but you can also achieve that on 4 courses if you're efficient and work hard. So yeah, 3 or 4 courses a semester. So that might be made up, for instance, with 1 or 2 courses connected to the major at your home university degree, or they might be all electives. Maybe you want to make sure you take 1 course or paper that is focused on something about New Zealand, our culture, our history, something a little bit more specific, or pick up a fieldwork kind of a course, or take something in a whole different subject you've never had the chance to do but would love to explore. So 3 or 4 courses a semester. And of course, we use this funny word, Alba, we call things papers. And a paper is really just meaning a standalone course or a module. So you'll hear that a bit when you interact with Otago. Righto, another common question that's come up for us is, I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts at my home institute. Do I apply for the Bachelor of Arts at Otago? No. So if you are nominated by your home institute for an exchange, you will be provided with a specific link to apply for it's called a Certificate of Proficiency Incoming Exchange. And that refers to the particular way in which you will be coming in, studying a semester of courses, and then transferring those credits back to your home institute. If you're going to be coming to us as a study abroad student, you'll be applying for what we call a Certificate of Proficiency Study Abroad. And same thing, it refers to sort of a 1 or 2 semester period coming in and taking some courses which you intend to transfer back to your home institute.
Very important to apply to the correct course so that we can process the application accordingly as well.
If you were to apply for the Bachelor of Arts with us, our understanding is you're meaning to apply for a full degree program with us. So that's a different concept entirely. All right. Have we got any other live questions that have come through?
Yes, we do. So someone has asked, I'm studying online at a university. Can I do an exchange semester at your university?
So that entirely depends on whether you're online or the university through which you're studying online has an exchange agreement with Otago. So you have to go and check with your home institute's international office or global affairs office to find out whether we're an exchange partner or not. If we are, great, then find out the next steps to be nominated. If we're not, then you can't come to us on an exchange, but you might be able to consider coming to us as a study abroad student, independently or through a provider, depending on where you are based. Okay, great. Well, that's probably a summary, I think, of study abroad and exchange at Otago. As you can see, I mean, this is what you're coming for most likely here on the screen. That's actually me out walking out on that stunning photo out on the peak, looking over that wonderful view. This kind of scenery, these kinds of activities are so accessible. There's really no other university in New Zealand that gives you the breadth and easy access to the same level that we can, whether you're surfing in Dunedin, 10 minutes down from the campus at the beach, or later in the day you're up a ski mountain, or later on the day you're in a kayak or hiking somewhere. So there's so many things you could do, and we really welcome you to Otago. So if you've got any additional questions following this that weren't answered in the chat, you of course are always welcome to reach out to us. But again, please do get in touch with your home institute's international office to find out your options to come to New Zealand and Otago. And we would very much warmly welcome you to join us. Until then, we'll catch you later and take care. Bye.